Sir Topham Hatt's engines love their work. Gordon likes pulling the express. Thomas likes his branch line. And Percy likes taking the mail. But none of them likes being a middle engine. It's no fun being stuck in the middle. One morning, Percy was cheerfully collecting empty cars from the smelter's yards. Where Splatter and Dodge worked, they liked to play tricks on steam engines. Percy didn't want to fall for their tricks again. But before he knew it, he was stuck in the middle. "Oh, bother," huffed Percy crossly. "Little green piggy in the middle," Splatter teased. There was no time to remove Percy's front cars, so they had to travel to the coaling plant with the cars in front of Percy. James was at Cowan Station when Percy steamed slowly by. "It's Slugcoach Percy," James laughed. "You wouldn't be laughing if you were stuck in the middle," Percy fumed, and he went all the way to the coaling plant. One by one, he shunted his cars onto the hopper and the coal was loaded. Next to the hopper was a small loading ramp. Full cars from the mines were pushed onto the ramp and the coal was unloaded for places on the main line. Percy was not allowed to cross the loading ramp until the tipper had been turned off. It was against the rules. But as he was backing out, there was trouble. Henry had arrived to pick up coal. He was in a bad mood and wasn't paying attention. He bumped into the cars, and the cars bumped into Percy. Percy was pushed onto the loading ramp. "Help!" cried Percy. "I'm not a truck!" But no one heard him. Percy was hoisted up, tipped over, and brought back down again. After Percy was lowered back onto the ground, the manager was very cross. "You have caused confusion and delay," he said to Henry. "I'll have to report this to Sir Topham Hatt." That night, Sir Topham Hatt spoke severely to Henry. "I'm very disappointed in you, Henry. You know to pay more attention when you're preparing a train." "Sorry, sir," said Henry. "But, sir," said Percy, "it wasn't Henry's fault. It's because those diesels made me a middle engine." "Nevertheless, Percy, Henry will stay in the shed until he learns to pay more attention." "Puh!" huffed James, thinking no one could hear him. "I can handle those diesels with bent bumpers and a busted boiler." "Then you will do Percy's run to the smelters," said Sir Topham Hatt. Yes, sir," said James. The next day, James arrived at the smelters. He was determined not to be tricked by Splatter and Dodge. "Hello, James," oozed Splatter. "Can't believe the thing I do from those who know." "Just get my trucks ready and stay out of my way," huffed James importantly. "Yes, sir," Dodge chimed greasily. Splatter and Dodge cheerfully shunted the trucks together. They were certain they had fooled James, but they were wrong. "I thought I told you to stay out of my way," chortled James. "No, you're just like Percy." "We are not like Percy," huffed Splatter. "We are not middle engines, and we're not moving." And they didn't. When Sir Topham Hatt heard the news, he sent Percy to help James. This made Percy happy. He buffered up to James, and together they took Splatter and Dodge along with all the freight cars to the docks. "Right on time," said the manager. "But what are those big diesels doing in the middle?" "Learning," James replied. "Learning what?" "Learning what it's like to be middle engines." Splatter and Dodge covered themselves in black smoke, hoping no one would notice them. But it was no good. There is only one purple and one olive engine on the island, and everyone knows what their names are.